Hey y'all. So I took a little break and I'm excited to be back with you guys talking about the gates. I was getting my own stuff in order this summer and it's been very busy. So I'm excited to be back. So today, let's talk about Gate 7. We moved into Gate 7 yesterday. And Gate 7 is really, in quantum human design, it's called the Gate of Collaboration. And more traditional, the I Ching and the Gene Keys and traditional human design, it's really a gate that talks about leadership. So in the I Ching, it's the army, and then Gene Keys, it's virtue is its own reward. And in human design, it's the role of self. And so all of it kind of leads to this channel that really talks about this gate of leadership. It's about, and again, the quantum human design is the gate of collaboration. And so the thread that goes through there is really about where leadership comes from and the how we have relationship with leading. And so this gate is located in the G center, so that's the heart chakra. And remember, this is the identity center. So this is how we're figuring out who we are in the world, so that we can be in our highest expression and in relationship to other people. This gate is really so when we talk about leadership and somewhat in the heart chakra, we have this relationship to the luminary, which is the archetype that's most associated with the wood element in the Taoist five elements. And really, it's about our inner leader, right? Like, so when we look at leadership from this perspective, we're looking at relationship to ourself as a leader, to who we are as a leader, and the necessary role of leaders and what they need to look like. But it's really asking us to get into that heart center first, that G center first. So it's saying, what kind of leader am I when I align deeply with my source energy, and I become a lighthouse. So the image that comes to mind for me is this lighthouse image. Like when I get really still and I'm connected to my true self, and I allow that energy to rise without pushing, without forcing, no ego, I allow my life force to rise and guide the way. It becomes a guiding energy. Our life vision in alignment with our creator energy allows us to really not push things into existence, to just be. And there's this sense of being that becomes leadership, right? So again, like the lighthouse is just a light. It's just a light that guides the way. It's not doing something. It's not pushing something. It's not trying to be more than that. But in its presence, it is a leader, just being there. And that's what this gate was really asking us, is like when we can just be present. So when we look at what it looks like to be a leader, it's not to be, in its lower expressions. It can be, it can be hidden completely, where we repress our inner leader and we don't follow, or we don't, oh good Lord, we don't want to be the leader, right? We reject leadership, or we talk too much, or those kinds of things. And it can also be controlling, right? Like, and so in those imbalanced expressions, it can be around leadership. Do I like being a follower? Do I like being a leader? Do I like to be seen? Do I want to be in control, right? Those are the questions that we want to ask, because those are the parts that are responding. But our true self is just a lighthouse. It's a light. And when we let that inner light glow and grow, then we become a leader, because we are just being our true essence. And there's a magnetism to that. And this when it's open in a channel, it's really asking us to be the elected leader. But the elected leader really comes from, they talk in human design about this gate, this channel being the elected leader. But that really comes from the quietness that comes from the alignment with source energy. When I am just being me, I'm naturally going to be elected as a leader for whatever I was here to lead, right? But ultimately it's to usher in this new leadership in humanity, which comes from collaboration and community, and the idea that we can just be with people. We can be presence with people. We can just be a light. We don't have to fix it. We're not trying to, sometimes we do have to make decisions, and we have to make decisions for the whole. So that's also this leadership role is about, can I make decisions for the role of, or for the whole, while I consider everyone? But it's also really about like, can I be with the stillness? When we look at it from the Gene Keys, and he talks about virtue as its own reward, it's really about that. The city state of virtue is really about leadership comes from being with the meek, right? Like leadership comes from not wanting to just stay at there's no hierarchy in that, right? Like when we get still and humble, then we are good leaders, right? And so that's this gate. This gate is really asking you to look at where you're ready to really stand for your leadership. Venus is in retrograde, so it's really going to ask you also what's your relationship to leadership for yourself and with others. Are you needing to be seen? Are you wishing that you could be more in control? Are you trying not to be seen? How do you feel about leadership? How do you feel about leadership and relationship? Are you led well in your relationship? Do you lead well in relationship? That's kind of the questions that might be up this week with this gate. So that's my quick breakdown for you for this gate. I'm excited to be back with you, and I'll see you soon.